Hi, my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. I am Miss Teacher, and today's video is going to be about how to present your summer camp ideas. So, I have worked in a public school, and I have done like two summer camps and 2 winter camps. And let me tell you, I absolutely hate summer camps. I have also worked at a summer camp at 2 different book clubs. And one, I just followed their curriculum, and another one, I had to present 3 or more themes. And then the other 2 teachers that I worked with had to pick one of the themes that they wanted to work with and then do. And I had to be detailed about all of those. So I am here to help you guys present your ideas to your co-teacher, who will later on present it to your principal. Now, it could get rejected at your co-teacher, or it could get rejected at your principal. It depends on the school you work for. Me personally, I have only had one theme rejected. And it was because I wanted to do a water day. And I wanted to do, like, every single day we got wet in the water. We just spend the whole time getting wet in the water. And the principal was like, no. And I was like, okay, fair enough. But that's the only one that I can think of out of all the summer camps that I ever done that has ever been rejected. Another one wasn't rejected, but the principal was like, let's change a little bit of the idea, whatever. And I don't think any of the teachers picked that theme, so it was just an extra theme just in case the principal rejected the other first 3. And that was the book club summer camp that I had hosted. But going right into our video, the first thing you're going to want to have is multiple themes, because you don't want to spend time planning and focusing on one theme, because that one theme can get rejected. Now, I've known 2 people to have done the Harry Potter theme, and that to me can be very complicated. So if you can, try not to do that one. But if you can do it and present it and make it where it works and your co-teacher and your principal actually like it, go for it. But me personally, I think that is a difficult one to handle. So first thing you're going to have after you come up with multiple themes, I say have between 3 to 5 themes, okay? 3 to 5. So let's say, for example, you have come up with 3 themes. You've come up with circus, you come up with ice cream, and you came up with rainbows. I don't know. Circus is actually one I have done. Rainbow and ice cream is not one. I've done circus, fair, and an escape room. Let's do that. Let's do circus, the fair, and escape room. Okay, those are your 3 things that you're going to do. So first, you're going to print out one lesson plan for each theme. You're going to have a lesson plan for circus, you're going to have a lesson plan paper for fair, and you're going to have a lesson plan paper for the escape room. So you're going to have a lesson plan paper for each theme. You're going to have your grades written here. Now, for me, when I worked in a public school, my summer camps were mixed together. So I had grade 3, 4, 5, and 6 all together for 3 hours with only one 10-minute break. And they only gave us that one 10-minute break is because I asked for it. Before that, they wanted me to teach them for 3 hours straight without a break. Yeah. And I was like, no, can I have a 10-minute break? I asked for a 20-minute, but they were like, we'll give you 10. And I said, I'll take it. It's better than nothing. So you need to have your grades down here. So one of my friends here, she had to do a summer camp. However, her summer camp was 30 to 40 minutes, just like her regular school day. It was 30 to 40 minutes, and it was broken up. The grades were broken up. So she didn't have to teach all grades together. She had to teach third together, fourth together, fifth together, and sixth together. And she was there for like 3 to 5 hours, then she left. So you just need to find out how it runs for your school. Will you have only 30 to 45 minute classes, or will you have like a 3-hour whole class? And will your students be broken up into their levels, or would you have to teach them all together? It all depends on your school. So if you do have to teach all your students together, you need to put 3 through 6. You need to make sure you have your grades here. If you don't teach all your schools together, you need to make sure you have, if this is for the third grade, you have third grade, and then you might have to print a lesson plan. If you have a different theme for the other levels, you have to print a lesson plan for those levels too. But if you want them all to be under circus, then you'll put grade 3 through 6 on here as well. You'll just fill the rest of it out like normal. And when you come down to this part, make sure you put your materials for all the activities you do. However, when you come down to this part right here, you're not going to be detailed as you would on your personal lesson plan. So your personal lesson plan, you will have what you're going to say, what you expect the kids to say, then what you'll say next, and then in details, your steps of what you should do, what you should grab, what you should show, like a play. You'll have it written out like a play. You're not going to do that on this because that spends too much time on something that could get rejected. What you're going to have on here is your whole general outline. So you're going to say, come in here. We're going to spend like 5 minutes greeting each other. Then we're going to spend 10 minutes going over the vocabulary words. So next, after that, you're going to list all the vocabulary words that is going to be connected to your theme. You're going to have juggler, ringmaster, something this and something that, okay? And if you're going to be doing this for multiple days, you need to have day 1. We're going to learn about people of the circus, jugglers, lions, and or jugglers and ringmaster and all that. Day 2, we're going to learn about the animals, lions, elephants, sea lions, panda bears, or whatever is in a circus. Day 3, we're going to learn about the foods, cotton candy, corn dogs, hot dogs. And I believe you need to really teach about foods because the students here in South Korea believe that a hot dog is a corn dog. And I literally have to tell them there's a difference. Do not go to America and say, can I have a hot dog? Because they will give you an actual hot dog in a bun when they want a corn dog. I was like, you have to call this a corn dog because it's made with cornmeal. This is a corn dog on a stick. It's a corn dog. So if you want a corn dog, ask for a corn dog. If you want a hot dog, ask for a hot dog. In America, there are 2 different things. So that's why I think teaching these things are important. Anyways, that was day 3 or... Yes, day 4, if you want to be like the things that are in a circus, you know, like the hula hoops, jump rope, or the tent or whatever is your vocabulary. Day 5 will be the colors of the circus: red, blue, orange, green, black, purple, whatever. You need to have each day written down and the vocabulary for each day, okay? So then you're going to have then you're going to write down day 1, your phrase for day 1. I see a lion. I see a ringmaster. I see a whatever. Day 2, you're going to write down your phrase for day 2. I want a pencil. I want a hot dog. I want a corn dog or whatever. Day 3, you're going to write down the phrase for day 3, day 4, day 5. If your phrase are all the same for all those days, then just write down that phrase and say day 1 through 5 and just have that one phrase, okay? But if it's not, if each day your phrase changes, you need to write down the phrase that changed, and you need to write down the days too. And you need to write down also the time that y'all gonna spend on learning the phrase, okay? Then after that, you need to write down your activity. You need to write down what game you're going to play. For example, I love making up games. I am the game maker, okay? I make up so many games. If you're going to write down something like ping pong ball game, you're going to write down the name and then you're going to give a little summary of how to play. On clear plastic cups, the vocabulary is going to be written on clear plastic cups, and the kids are going to take a ping pong ball and they're going to try to throw it in a cup. If they make the ball into a cup, the teacher will ask the student the question of the day, and the student has to answer using the learned phrase that day with the vocabulary on the cup. If the student misses the cup, then they have to turn a circle 3 times holding their notes. So that's the summary of it. It's not going into great details of it. It's just a huge summary of it. Then you're going to write the summary and you're going to put down how long you're going to be on that particular activity. Activity 2, you're going to write down a summary of that activity. If it's doing darts, you're going to say, oh, there's going to be like the phrase from yesterday, the phrase today, and the vocabulary on the dartboard, and the students are going to have to throw darts at the dartboard, and whichever phrase it lands on, they're going to have to ask their teammate that phrase and whatever. I'm making this up off the top of my head. So they have to ask their teammate that phrase, and their teammate has to answer using the vocabulary that the dart hit or whatever. Just a summary, quick summary, and the time spent on that activity. After that, you're going to say, oh, we're going to spend on the next activity is a writing practice activity. The kids are going to spend some time learning the vocabulary by writing it 3 times. And then when they're finished with that, they're going to have to read the vocabulary word to the teacher. Make sure that you have that vocabulary sheet ready to go. This is an actual vocabulary sheet that I made for that book club summer camp that I did circuits for. Unfortunately, the PowerPoint I used, I deleted it. So I don't have that PowerPoint to show you guys. I deleted it and I cannot find it. However, I did save the worksheet for some odd reason. But here's the worksheet that I made. Make sure you have the level that this worksheet is for. If your 4th grade, your 5th grade, and your 6th graders have more vocabulary that you want them to remember, and the worksheet is tougher or harder or more difficult, make sure you have their worksheet too. And you have their grade level on that worksheet, and you present that worksheets, all the worksheets together. You have to present all the worksheets for all the levels. If all your levels going to use this one worksheet, then you only have one worksheet to present. If each level is going to use a different worksheet, make sure you have one worksheet per level. And if you have, like, the 3rd grade going to use this, but the 4th grade is going to use a different worksheet, but the 5th grade is going to use the same worksheet as the 4th grade, make sure you have, this is for the 3rd, the next worksheet is for 4th and 5th, the next worksheet is for the 6th. That makes sense, right? Make sure you present everything for each class, because if you don't, they're going to ask you, well, all the 6th graders going to be doing this easy worksheet? And you're going to be like, no, their worksheet is going to be a bit harder. And they're going to be like, why didn't you show me that? Where is their worksheet? They're going to want to see their worksheet. So make sure you have all the worksheets for all your levels presented with that lesson plan, okay? Good. So if your next activity is a reading activity, then you're going to have to print out the reading sheet that you're going to have. And like I said before, with the writing worksheet, print out all the reading worksheets or passages you're going to have for each level to read. If all levels are going to read this one worksheet, that's fine. Just print one of this out. If they all are going to be reading different passages, then you need to make sure you have one sheet per passage that each level is going to read. Be prepared. Don't make them imagine what you're going to do. Make them see it. Have everything ready. This is also good because if they approve it, then all you have to do is just go and make copies of however many sheets you need. So you're ready. You just have to make copies. You see? You're double ready. Yeah. You like that, don't you? I like it too. You're double ready. So you can just go ahead and make copies of the sheet and not have to go on Google and be like, oh my goodness, I have to type this in. I can't find what I need, because you already have what you need and you already presented it and you already just have to copy it. So you don't want to go to your principal and say, oh, we're going to do this game. We're going to do a writing activity, and then we're going to do a reading activity. And if they be like, okay, cool. And then next thing you know, you're on Google trying to find a writing sheet and you can't find one. Or you're trying to find a passage and you can't find one. Go ahead and find everything you need beforehand so you can be over prepared. I'm going to teach you guys how to be over prepared, but not really over prepared. It's just really being prepared. So you're going to make sure you have all what you need, and you're going to staple it all on your lesson plan. Or if you have a little clear folder to put it in, put it all in. And this goes with every theme you have. So if you have 3 themes, all 3 themes need to have that on there, and it needs to have all the worksheets followed behind it. Then you say, oh, for our review game, we'll just play rock, paper, scissors, and then we'll play round robin with rock, paper, scissors. Whoever loses has to ask their friend the learned question of the day, and then they have to answer using the vocabulary they run. And then, say we'll spend like 10 minutes doing that, and then we'll spend 5 minutes saying bye to each other, and that's class. So you want to have it that detailed, but not too detailed, and you want to have all your worksheets for every single class already stapled and ready to be presented with this lesson plan. It will keep you prepared, and it will let them not have to guess what you're doing, but they can see it. The only thing they should be guessing on and imagining in their heads what you're going to do is your activity, because you're not going to have a written detail, like you're going to have a summary of it, and you're not going to have a video where they're going to go to and watch it, because they're not going to do that. They're not going to take time out of their day to go watch a video. They're just going to read your quick summary and say yes or no. Okay? So, just to recap really fast over everything I said, you're going to come up with multiple ideas, themes for your summer or your winter camp. Make sure your themes, you have 3 to 5 themes. Make sure with your themes you print out a lesson plan per theme. Make sure you plan out all the materials that is going to go with that theme. And I'm not talking about materials for your physical activity. I'm talking about materials for like reading and writing activity. Okay? So you're going to print all this out for each class. If all classes is going to read this one passage, then that's fine. If all classes is going to do this one worksheet, that's fine. But you need to make sure that you have all the worksheets and all the passages printed out so they can read what the kids are going to be reading, and they can see what the kids are going to be doing. Because I'm going to tell you right here, the 6th graders, they need more than these little 4 vocabulary up here. They're going to need all the vocabulary, and they're going to need to not have this up here. They're going to need to practice spelling. They're older. They're not little. They don't need to. They can identify and copy and paste. They now need to practice spelling without the words. So you need to make sure you have their worksheet up there so the principal can see and say whether that's too difficult or not. Don't make them guess, because if they guess, they're going to reject it. But if you give them everything printed out in details of what they need to know, it's very likely that they're going to reject it. Okay? And I hope this video has helped you guys in any kind of way to prepare for your summer and your winter camp. If you stay tuned, the next video that I will post will tell you, once you got a theme approved, how to conduct your summer and winter camps. Thank you guys. Bye, my lovelies.